Good morning and welcome to the 445 Productive Through Joy show with your host and your boy, Dr. Michael Datcher. The show airs each weekday morning, hella early at 4:45 a.m. here on YouTube's Michael Datcher channel, and then 4:45 p.m. on Facebook Live. Today, we're talking about taking the long view and productivity. What is the connection between taking the long view and becoming more productive? All right. This is a show aimed at entrepreneurs, those who have their own business, those who would like to own their own business, and those who simply want to live in abundance like a boss. We air each weekday morning, hella early at 4:45 a.m. here on YouTube's Michael Datcher channel, and then at 4:45 p.m. on Facebook Live. As you may also be able to discern from the show's title, we're also interested in the ideal of using joy itself as a technology to move us towards our goals and objectives. We encourage everyone on this show to start their own business, that in the long view, they may be able to manifest their dreams. So again, we're talking today about the long view and productivity. Allow me to first say a few words about myself before we move on. This again is your host and your boy, Dr. Michael Datcher. I'm the author of the New York Times bestseller, Raising Fences, which was a Today Show Book of the Month pick. That book's film rights were optioned by the actor Will Smith, whose people called my people, and I eventually agreed to write the screenplay for that particular project. I'm also the author of the acclaimed historical novel Americas, which is a book set 13 miles from Ferguson, where Michael Brown, of course, was murdered, and the conflagration, of course, also ensued there as well. That book chronicles the story of identical twin sons, and one of whom gets vitiligo, the so-called Michael Jackson disease. That book will be out February 2018 on Third World Press here in the States. Look for that in bookstores everywhere. I'm also the founding editor of the International Journal of Literary Nonfiction called The Truth About the Fact. I'm the former executive director of the World Stage, a literary and jazz venue here in California. My educational background is UC Berkeley as an undergraduate, my master's from UCLA, and my PhD in English literature from the University of California at Riverside. I'm currently a professor of English literature at the Loyola Marymount University here in Los Angeles. I'm an expert at being productive, all right? I don't say that to brag, but people are oftentimes surprised at my level of productivity given how crazy my own personal narrative is. I am the product of a young girl who was raped at 16, gave birth to me at 17, and subsequently gave me up for adoption as a two-way single divorcee at the age of 16. So at the time, although my adopted mother was and is great, at the time, no biological father, no adopted father. Just difficult times for the young MD. Yet, as Cool Modi famously said, "Ha, you like me now?" And if I can be this productive through joy, so can many of us who are watching this show. So please go to productivethroughjoy.com. See about us. We offer live one-on-one productive through joy consulting. We also more famously speak in live presentations to colleges, high schools, and organizations, helping in a group setting individuals become more productive through joy. You can just go to, again, michaeldatcher.com or productivethroughjoy.com, or simply go to YouTube's Michael Datcher channel. Reach out. And also, if you're enjoying the show so far, please swipe left or right across your device to invite people to join the conversation. All right. So again, we're going to be talking in a few moments about our topic today, which is taking the long view and productivity. We'd like to also first in the morning show talk a bit about framing your day before your day has a chance to frame you. Wow. I'm guffawing because I'm thinking about my own particular challenges in my own life right now, practically. And so at times we wake up with trouble on our mind, and that trouble follows us throughout our day until evening time and takes us into our sleep mode, and we take that into sleeping, think about it, wake up with it again on our minds once again. And so we find ourselves having these repeated days where trouble is on our mind, and that can be normal to a certain extent. But when that begins to dominate our consciousness, it creates a level of stress that can be super unhealthy. As we know from modern science, stress is a killer. It disables the body because it's a chemical-based physical reaction. And so we help people to deal with the stressors of life, because we know that as folks who are looking to live in abundance like a boss, you're oftentimes dreaming big. And when you dream big, you deal with obstacles, and you deal with stressors and things that could give you cause. So pause and a cause to do better. And so we talk about this framing your day aspect in the context of a ritual. Ritual can be defined as essentially, in a broad way, in the broadest possible way, doing the same things at the same time, a ritual. And so let me, as way of example, provide my brief morning ritual to serve as an exemplar. So in the mornings I wake up at 3:45, including this morning, a little earlier today. I read a couple of spiritual business books. I do our morning show here at 4:45 on YouTube's Michael Datcher channel. And until 5. Then at 5, I work on my current book for a while, then until really sunrise. And then at sunrise, I go to the beach to meditate, pray, do yoga. It's really, really a powerful time. Come back, I work on my book. I live along the coast here in Venice Beach, California, so I just walk out, bring my drum, and again, pray, drum, do yoga. I mean, it's amazing out in the early morning here. Come back, work on my book a while longer, then I go back to the beach to run up the coast all the way past Santa Monica's Pier, all the way back here to Venice to go to my gym, to get my workout in, get my buff on. So by 9:30, guys, I'm feeling like a beast. I'm in Marshawn Lynch mode. And so literally I am feeling powerful, and I leverage that euphoric feeling to move me towards my goals and objectives, right? Which for me involve, of course, consulting, real estate, and publishing. Now, we're not saying do what I do, but we are saying do something. Do something every day, because life happens to us every day. I know when I don't have a good morning ritual, if I get up late or something happens in my schedule or I'm facing some challenge that my schedule is thrown off, I see an immediate impact. I mean, I've been doing this program for years. Even a few days of not being on top of my spiritual, physical, intellectual game in the morning, the impact is noticeable and discernible. My life begins to collapse around me because I have a lot of pressure on me, a lot of responsibilities, obviously. So, I speak of that which I know. So we know that although you don't have to do what I'm doing, but as you begin to create a morning ritual, a thing that you do when you first get out of bed, which is what we help people to do, to construct and help to keep them accountable, you begin to see an incredible upsurge. Anyway, so I'm reading 2 great books as my morning ritual readings, and I'm reading this in this current time because the books change, of course, as I finish each book. I'm reading 2 books now. I'm reading the Nag Hammadi Reader, which is a library. There's 2 versions of it, many versions actually, but I've got 2 versions. It's a book of kind of ancient spiritual scriptures, really covering things from like the early Christian church, early Gnostic teachings about folks who believed in Gnosticism. I mean, really incredible stuff. I'm also reading a book by Jen Sincero called You Are a Badass at Making Money, which is this really funny but super profound book about having a positive attitude about wealth, basically, having a wealth mindset. Anyway, from those 2 books, I extract wisdom, which I call the morning chant. Today's morning chant is, as a meditating natural mystic, I take the long view because I know that my success is guaranteed. As a meditating natural mystic, I take the long view because I know that my success is guaranteed. And so I think about that throughout my day. I contemplate that. I place it on my phone, and also create the morning and afternoon shows based upon that idea. So today we're talking about the long view and productivity. All right, and we'll dive into that topic in just a few moments. Let me again encourage you to go to productivethroughjoy.com. We offer live one-on-one Productive Through Joy consulting. We also have very, very powerful live group programs where I come out and speak to schools, colleges, schools, and organizations in a group setting, which is very, very powerful. So have me come out and talk to you about what you do. Also go to michaeldatcher.com or productivethroughjoy.com, or simply go to the Michael Datcher YouTube channel. So let's dive in. The long view and productivity. Point 1 is you have got to develop a long view attitude. It takes work because too often for those of us who are busy, who are out here looking to make it happen, folks who are entrepreneurs, folks who are more on the cutting edge of their industries, who are visionaries, honestly, we find ourselves operating kind of on the razor's edge at times because we're taking risk. We're risk takers, and at times because you're in risk taking mode, the stakes are super high. Um, Frequently, and when your stakes are high, you have there can be a myopic purview. You can be focused so much on the high stakes right now that you have to work to maintain the long view. I was showing at times that how at times I'll for whatever reason I'll get off my schedule, so my morning ritual schedule. So this last few couple of months I've been dealing with some very complicated things as a professor and um, very very complicated in the business front, and so I've had to make some changes and tweak things in terms of my schedule and other things. So I've been really challenged by the work that's immediately in front of me. And so for me as well, I get away from taking that long view. But today, the point is that today, I was brought back to my belief in taking the long view and knowing that as a meditating natural mystic, that my abundance, my success is guaranteed, and settling into that. And my job is just to keep building from the inside out, which goes into point two. In order to have the long view, the confidence that your abundance, for example, is guaranteed, you have to build from the inside out. What does that mean? You have to do this work that we're talking about. This one part of it, one aspect of it is the preparation. It's the morning chant. It's the morning ritual. It's the getting up. It's even when no one's looking, even though you don't have to do it. I know it makes me get up at 3:45. And as someone who actually loves to sleep, 3:45 is a challenge. Or makes me run on the beach or do what I do. It definitely is a challenge, but I do it because I believe that foundation is what is going to make me great. And I'm looking for greatness. I'm believing in greatness. I'm looking for abundance for my family, my friends, and relations. Let me say as a sidebar, at times, this goes back to Jim Sincero's great book about having a wealth mindset, being a badass and making money. Too often we think that those who are wealthy, that those who are abundant, who are seeking abundance, or wherever they fall in that process, are money hungry, bad people, or some version, some pejorative. That all the 1% is bad. Listen, we are not all bad people. Certainly, there's those of us in the 1% who do bad things. Right? There's no choice about that. But there's a lot of us who know that money is just energy and allows us to do good on our planet, in our neighborhoods, for our family. And so we're here to say that you can be involved in the 1%. You can be down with the 1%, and you can do good work. Because too often those who are not progressive, who are not doing good work, are too often out-resourcing those who want to do good work. So just as a sidebar, if you hear us talking about abundance or about wealth, know that it's not just to go buy some new rims. Although rims are fine, if that's your thing, or a gold grill, or another car. As Savage says, Savage's friends say, why you got a 12-car garage and you just got 6 cars? And we don't need 6 cars, But if that's your thing, knock yourself out. We're saying what it's about is using the money to do good, right? Which goes into point 3. As you begin to work from the inside out, as you begin to have that long view attitude and cultivate it, you begin to see an obvious and very powerful uptick in your productivity, guys, and the joy as a part of that productivity. You'll be in the joy because you're consistently doing the work that needs to be done, and you're going to have difficulty. You're gonna fall, right? So I've been struggling the last couple of months because I've been going through so much stuff in a complicated way. Because I have a lot of balls in the air, professor and writer and parent, and as many of us do, we're very busy. And so when there's a snafu in one of those areas, it affects everything else. And so we have to constantly get ourselves to come back to that space where we are literally reminding ourselves to keep doing the inside work, the working from the inside to the outside, and to be consistent, and to know like we know that our success, our abundance is guaranteed. All right, boom, goes the dynamite. That's it for today's show. This show, the 445 Productive Through Joy show, airs each weekday morning, hella early at 4:45 a.m. here on YouTube's Michael Datcher channel, then at 4:45 p.m. on Facebook Live. Go to michaeldatcher.com. Go to Productive Through Joy bring us out to talk to your school organization. Become a subscriber. Until then, we'll see you next week. Deuces.